Well, hello there. I'm the old Growler, and welcome to Meeting Expectations. I'm Pete LaFrance, and what we do here is we take a look at a bottle or a can of beer. We read off exactly what they tell us about it, and then we crack it open and see if it meets expectations. If this is your first time here, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell, that way you won't miss any of our presentations. And if you've been here before, welcome back. And guess what we've got now? We have got Allagash River Trip, a Belgian-Style Session Ale. It is at 16 fluid ounces, 4.8 degrees alcohol by volume. From the Allagash Brewing Company, it's River Trip Brewery, River Trip right there. And it is 473 milliliters and 2 pounds 65. And here in the US, it is $3.79 at the local beer store. So let's see what Allagash River Trip is. It says a Belgian-style session ale. All right, a Belgian style, that's kind of a funky wild yeast kind of session ale, which you can drink a lot of it, but this is 4.8%. That's pretty close to a session beer. I call 4% by volume my session beer. But all right, let's see. It says it has the craft beer seal of approval from the Brewers Association, and the government warning that I shouldn't drink this if I'm pregnant, so I don't have to worry about that. And it says over here, a companion to backyards, backwoods, and balconies alike. This Belgian-style table beer packs an array of melon, citrus, and stone fruit notes. Brewed with coriander, dry hopped, and good for any adventure. We brew all of our beer at a single brewery in Portland, Maine, just like we have since 1995. Okay, so they give us, and let's see, from Maine with love, independent brewers since 1995. All right. Okay, as well as that kind of a wild yeast type of thing, which, as I say, is the Belgian, my perception of a Belgian style. A table beer. They call it a table beer, but as I say, it's a little bit up there. An array of melon, citrus, and stone fruit. Okay, melon, that would be similar to cantaloupe, that type of a thing, or possibly watermelon. Citrus, so that could either be grapefruit or a lemon. Let's see, fruit notes, so that would be the stone fruit notes, that would be like a cherry or something along that line. So a little bit of cherry, a little bit of citrus in there. We will see what this Belgian-style session ale has. Let's see if it meets expectations. It's going to be interesting. I have expectations it will be an interesting flavored beer. Let's crack it open and see if it is. If you have any ideas for a beer that needs to see if it meets expectations, do let us know in the comments below. All right. Our beer tasting glass, thanks to Jerry Scott, we use all of the same style of glasses here because that way none of the beers are at a disadvantage or an advantage as to how they look or how their aromas are perceived. All right, let's see what we've got here. Wow. A very light colored beer. Has a great head, and look at the carbonation on that. That is really a well-carbonated beer. All right. First of all, it's golden. It's almost the color of hay that's been out in the fields there. You look out at the fields of grain. That's a very light color. It has a fairly well-knit head. It was 2 fingers at one time. It's kind of falling a little quickly there. Large bubbles. And as you can see, the carbonation there, it really a very lively carbonation. Now, that tells me that there's going to be, because the carbonic acid means that it's going to be frothy in your mouth, and so it's going to be a little sharp in some of the flavors. So let's see the first nosedive. I'm definitely getting some what is known as a hop flavor. It's kind of a little bitter sensation, but it's not like going into a florist shop. It's more like going into a forest rather than a florist. First swig. If I had been asked, I would have suggested that this definitely was less than 4% ABV to start with. It has a very light mouthfeel. It is refreshing for sure. There's not a lot of what I would say is grainy, bready maltiness in that sense of the word, but it is a very light grain, grainy flavor, and the hops are surprisingly light. As far as the fruits, some melon, yes. As far as the stone fruits, I'm not picking up any of those. And the melon, there is some there. It's along the line of cantaloupe, but very light. This is an incredibly low, as far as it's not going to knock you out at all. This is a very light beer, a very refreshing beer, and if it says on the label that it is a session beer, well, it has certainly met expectations as far as that goes. So, does Allagash River Trip Belgian-Style Session Ale meet expectations? Yes, it does. I'm Pete LaFrance, the Old Growler, hoping all of your beers meet expectations.